What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Travis. Of course, this is TWA Motorsports, and today, well, a video to make all the haters out there mad. Yes, I did buy another vehicle. I'm going to show it to you in just 1 second. But before I do, I want to let you guys know that nothing in here has went away, right? So nothing. I haven't sold anything else. This was something that was kind of the spur of the moment deal. We'll talk a little bit more about it when I get out there, but yeah, nothing has sold. Everything is still here. Not planning on, the whole back row is safe. We're not selling anything. I think this whole row is probably safe. The white Trans Am is one of those things I talked about in the video a while back. I like to tinker, I like to sell, I like to move through stuff. Other than the white Trans Am, everything in here is not in that category. I still like to tinker on it, but I'm really not wanting to sell it. Now the Trans Am, the white Trans Am here was always in that wheelhouse of tinker, sell, tinker, sell. Same thing with the Yukon, the new daily driver Yukon, the MBS Yukon. I'm gonna tinker with it for a while, make it look better, do the things I wanna do to it, and then down the road I'll sell it. So same thing's gonna go with this truck that I just bought, but I wanna take you out here and show it to you, talk about why I bought it. It's a really cool story, and that's part of the reason I went ahead and bought it, but let's go take a look at it and we'll talk about it. So, yeah, I got the MBS Yukon sitting out here all dirty, but check this thing out. It is a Nissan 720. I can see the people unsubscribing as we speak. Why would you buy this? You're a GM guy. You don't buy import stuff. That's dumb. You should be working on the Trans Am. I could just see all the comments flying up right now. I'm giving you a thumbs down this video. It's not MBS truck. I read all my comments, guys. I try to respond to all of them too, even the ones I don't necessarily love or like the comments. I try to reply to each and every one of them. But what's the deal with this? So guys, look, I am a mini truck guy. Always have been. Always liked mini trucks. It seems like I haven't grown out of that phase. When I turned 16, my first truck was an S10 Cameo EL. I've never gotten out of that. I still love that square body S10. I just love the look of those. And you guys know I had the Sonoma GT here for a while. I really like that truck. After driving it for a while, I realized I'm not a mini truck guy as far as size goes. So why did I buy this? Well, ultimately it came down to the story for the most part, but about 1.5 years ago, I was down getting an inspection. In Missouri, you have to have inspections every 2 years if the vehicle has over 150,000 miles or is over 10 years old. And so anyway, I was down getting an inspection. A buddy of mine has a shop, and at his shop, this guy worked, and this truck back here behind me came in about 1.5 years ago. And come to find out, his dad had passed away. They lived in Reno, and he went out from Missouri to Reno and picked up all his stuff. This truck was one of those things. And when he got it back, it was sitting in the shop that day I went down there 1.5 years ago, and I said, "Hey, would you sell that?" And before I could even get it out of my mouth, he said, no, it was my dad's. I'm not selling it, I'm keeping it. Well, I went down there to get the Yukon here inspected, and he asked me, he goes, "Hey, are you still interested in that truck?" And I was like, no, not at all. And the more I got to thinking about it, I thought about it for a couple days. I was like, actually, you know what? Where's it at? I want to go take a look at it again, because I don't even remember what it looked like. I knew it was a Nissan 720, but I didn't know anything else about it. And so I went and looked at it and ultimately ended up buying it. And we'll talk about what I paid for it in a minute. But like I said, 1986 Nissan 720. This guy's dad bought this truck brand new. So he owned this truck his entire life. His son then took it over when he passed away, and I bought it from his son. So kind of a cool story, because these trucks, guys, in my area where they put salt on the roads and people drive these in the winter, they're completely rotted away. There's nothing left. It was made out of cheap metal. Even the more expensive metal, like the GM stuff, like the cab corners, the rockers, they wouldn't last half the time a GM unit would, because they're just thin metal. It's thin, cheap metal. And they were meant for transportation. Nobody really kept them nice, so to find one nice, it's kind of tough. And this one, it was in Reno, so it got baked by the sun, and you can see that the paint is chipping off, and it's got some surface rust. But as far as like actual rust on the truck, the rockers are good, the bed's good, the bed sides, everything that would normally rust apart on these trucks in the environment that I'm in is all good. So that's one of the reasons I bought it, other than the story. But look, I've had, and before I started this channel, guys, so from the time I turned 16 till now, which has been a lot of years, 24 actually. I'm 40 years old now, but I've had 2 or 3, if not more, B2200s, B2000s. I've had a couple of Isuzu pups. I've had a couple S10s that you guys have seen, a couple GNC Sonomas. I've had, what else falls in that category? I've never had a Mighty Max. I did have this exact truck, a 1 year older in a regular cab, and it literally looked like this. I bought it from an old man. It had a camper shell and everything too. So I've had experience with these trucks, but one of the really, really cool things, other than the story behind this truck and buying it, is that it came with a factory sunroof. This is actually factory. This is not aftermarket added. And it is an automatic, which is super rare, right? Most of these were stripped out 5-speed, no air, no AC, or no AC, no cruise, no tilt, none of that. It has power windows. I don't know that I have ever seen a cheap foreign truck in this era, so like in the 80s, with power windows. That is absolutely outlandish to me. Factory power windows, they work. Everything on the entire truck works. It does have cruise control. You can see the controller here, and then you set it with your turning stock just like you would a normal car. It's just amazing. Then it has the original instructions on how to take out the sunroof, because there's a little shade that you have to unscrew before you pop the sunroof out or pop it up. It's so cool to me to see stuff like this. Now look, it's not in stellar shape as far, like the paint's not mint. The interior is obviously not mint. You can see that it's got a cover on it. The seat's torn. They tried to use blue tape to match the blue interior. I mean, I don't really know about that. But the passenger side seat's in awesome shape, just needs clean. Got a couple broken pieces. The console, the little springs broke, so that guy rides up. Steering wheel, you know, seen better days. But everything works, including the clock and the dash. It has a factory tack. It's just cool to me. The only thing this truck doesn't have, he said his dad didn't need it because he lived in Reno, is it does not have AC, but it does have power brakes. It does have cruise, does have tilt, does have power steering, which is kind of rare as well. Most of these trucks, like the last one I had, my 85, this just like this was, like I said, it was a 5-speed regular cab, no power steering, no power brakes, no air. I mean, it was a stripped out model. Obviously it did not have power windows either, but I think this thing is so cool. King cab. I've driven it. I bought it about 3 days ago, driven it to work twice. It's funny because people were like, why would you buy this? Well, look, I thought it was cool. So what did I spend on it? Well, guys, I bought this thing for $2,000. And what's funny is the guy was out here the other day, he's like, you get $5 grand for that, no problem right now. And I agree. I think this truck is worth $5 grand, if not more. I think people that love these trucks, or were looking to redo one maybe, this thing is a respray and a couple interior pieces away from being a very, very nice truck, especially the fact that it doesn't have any rust. But you know, you guys know that I can't leave anything alone. And so I do have a few plans for it. Now, it's not going to be a blow apart project. It's not even going to be as far as like the Yukon. But back to that tinkering thing that I like to do. So I've already ordered blocks for the back to lower it a little bit. I ordered a 3-inch angled block so we can do a 3-inch drop in the back. This thing has torsion bar front end. You can actually get about a 5-inch drop in the front of these. Now, it won't ride great with just the torsion bars. So what I figured it was, we may go 3 in the back, 3 to 4 in the front, maybe giving it kind of that rake that I want. I'm back and forth on taking the camper shell off. I know it kind of fits the era, but it's so ugly. But I thought it'd be kind of cool to have something to like throw a transmission in the back of, or throw some trash in the back of, or just not worry about. I'm not going to try to scratch it, but if you know you're putting something in the back and it got scratches on it or oil, because essentially this is my new truck, and I can lay some cardboard down, and that's what I've been doing when I went to swap wheels and whatnot. But it is kind of nice to have a beater truck, I would call it, to drag stuff around and whatnot. But yeah, I think it's cool, guys. Now, other than that, I told you I drove it a couple times to work. It's got a Weber carb on it, and it seems to run okay when you get on the road. It is not fast. 60 miles an hour is tacking about 3,000 RPMs, And that's about as fast as this thing wants to go. You can get it up to 65, 70, but that's really pushing on it. I think you'd probably get into the oil burn section there. It's got 166,000 original miles. What else can I tell you about it? Oh, I think I may have my window tint guy throw some window tint on it, just because it's like driving a fishbowl, and I'll probably drive this thing quite a bit. Like if I have to haul something, you know, down the road or whatnot. My dad even said something about using it to pull the lawnmower around. I think it'll be a great truck to have for, let's say one day I come out and this thing doesn't want to start, just hop in this and go, or maybe I just drive this to work. Either way, other than that, so the drop, the window tint, maybe taking the camper shell off. The only other thing is, guys, if I could find a set of 17-inch GM or GMC wheels, they're actually the same bolt pattern as this guy. I don't want to put a 20 on it because you'd have to put such a small tire, because it just doesn't fit it. But if I could find a cheap 17, which I should be able to, the only thing you really need to do is the hub bore is a little bigger on these guys. It's a 4-inch hub bore, where I think these are like 3.5 or 3-inch. So I'd have to have somebody machine the center of the wheel out a little bit and put some lower profile tires on it, obviously. But I thought that'd be kind of cool looking. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Like I said, I know that people are going to be so upset. They're going to think you're crazy. I still think it's cool. It's like I said, guys, I just like to tinker with stuff like this. And I never, originally when I made this channel, I never thought about doing just a set. I know I did a lot of Trans Am videos out to start out with, and then I moved on to MBS stuff, and I love both of those things, but I love a lot of different cars, and mini trucks included. There's just a lot of stuff that I like, and so you're gonna see stuff that I like to do. I don't base any of my content off of like, oh, somebody said I have to do this or I need to do that. I've never based my channel off that, and maybe the channels that do better out there do that, but I just wanted to bring you along for the ride and share my passion of different automobiles. Although a lot of them are GM, I just wanted to share that passion with you guys. It never was a deal to try to make money on YouTube. It was never a deal to please certain crowd or be popular at meet because I have this vehicle or whatnot. It was never meant to be that. It was just meant to be fun and entertaining, and maybe teach you guys something, and maybe I learned something from you in the comments or whatnot. That's kind of how I looked at it. But either way, if you guys did enjoy this video, if you think this new truck's going to be cool, if you want to see something else, let me know in the comments, because I'm going to reply to any of them, even the ones that I may not like, or you say you hate this truck. I'm still probably going to reply. You may not like my reply, or you may not like somebody else's reply, but either way, I do try to reply. But if you're not subscribed, guys, go down there, hit that subscribe button. Of course, ring the bell icon that notifies you every single time we drop a new video, and stay tuned to see what we work on next.